About 100 defeated Russian targets are the result of the work of the new Ukrainian reconnaissance and strike system, Bulava. It was first used on the battlefield this year. Ukrainian soldiers have already noted that the Bulava's characteristics is superior to the enemy's Lancet. And in the future, the manufacturers plan to increase the range of strikes to 100 kilometers deep into the enemy's rear.
Як працює цей комплекс, дивіться далі у нашому матеріалі.
The Leleka flies high into the sky and searches for Russian nests so that the Ukrainian armed forces can strike them with Bulava. There are already very fat, significant targets. Bukem 3S, TORS. There are enemy electronic warfare assets. These two drones work in pairs. Leleka 100M2 performs the tasks of a reconnaissance and a repeater. The loitering munition Bulava, with a warhead of almost 4 kilograms, captures and hits enemy equipment or personnel. If everything is ready for use, a reconnaissance UAV remains within the target radius, approximately in the area of the target, and use like repeater. From the position where the operators are working or from a neighboring position, the strike drone takes off. It's our UAV called Bulava, and the operator brings the Bulava to the target area, where our reconnaissance UAV, repeater, is located nearby. In the presence of our film crew, the developers assemble the drones like a designer. The Bulava destroys enemy targets at a range of 60 kilometers. It can be used only once during a mission. In order not to waste a precious resource for our defenders here in the field, pilots only take Leleka into the sky. This UAV is capable of repeatedly performing reconnaissance missions and returning home. We have been working on reconnaissance equipment all our lives. We have a flagship, our ISR Leleka 100. It is the most common unmanned aerial vehicle in the Ukrainian army. Every brigade well known about it. There were improvements already during the big war. And the Leleka 100M2 reconnaissance drone appeared. A complete system with improved characteristics. It flies longer, it flies farther, has a better channel of communication, and so on. But when the Lancet attack drones began to be used on a massive scale in this war, all Ukrainian companies were tasked with helping our Ukrainian military get their own Lancet. And the company did offer its strike system with an X-wing loitering munition. Bulava exceeded almost all expectations. One of its advantages is its high resistance to enemy electronic warfare. All the characteristics are very similar. In terms of communication channels, in my opinion, we use a higher quality communication channel, which is harder to jam, which is more reliable and more flexible to the user, and further modernization. I think the nomenclature of combat units is much more effective. In addition, the UAV can stay in the air for almost an hour, climb to an altitude of about 2,000 meters, and reach speeds of up to 100 kilometers per hour. As for the Bulava, it is the first codified reconnaissance and strike system in Ukraine. It already has several groups of permanent operators. In total, the reconnaissance and strike systems have performed more than 100 combat missions on the battlefield. They are constantly being improved. Future modifications of Bulava include increase the combat load, to make the payload larger, not 3 kilograms, but 5 kilograms and 6 kilograms, and so that it can continue to fly to an altitude of 90 kilometers.
Because it's great to send HIMARS 90 kilometers,
But there are a lot of targets where you need to work on a point-by-point basis.
when there is a vehicle with an enemy crew, they send the HIMARS.
It is very expensive, and there should be other targets for it.
Large, area-based.
But when you need to find an enemy vehicle and destroy it at a distance of 90 kilometers, this is the job of loitering munitions. And most importantly, the military is satisfied with the result of these drones' work. The military has an old rule that the means of destruction should be at least 4 times cheaper than the volume to be destroyed. If it is a buck, it is hundreds of times cheaper. If it is an enemy electronic warfare device, it is 10 times cheaper. If it is artillery, it is also dozens of times cheaper. In addition to manufacturing strike and reconnaissance
vehicles, the company also trains UAV operators. Among the students are experienced soldiers and those who have just joined the ranks of the armed forces. Since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, the number and need for training of unmanned aerial systems operators has increased. We have developed our own center, certified it by the Ministry of Defense, and have been conducting training at our own expense for over 3 years. We have, I'm not afraid to say, one of the most powerful service centers that operates 24/7 every single day. There has been a full-scale invasion since the beginning, that this service center has never stopped. The company produces hundreds of such ISR and strike drones every month, but the state's financial capacity is limited. The developers hope for help from our Western partners in order not to lose the golden time to destroy the Russian army.
Російського війська. Михайло Банилюк, Олена Менделюк, Володимир Самченко, Ярослав Засоба. Подробиці телеканал Інтер. Марафон. Єдині новини.